That's quite a way to start off the stream. But no, like, it's been hectic the last few weeks, man.
Controlled chaos is officially done. No more, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day. In
No,
street. In the street.
in bed. No. But like, you got the new Amazon job. You kind of took my place there. I've been taking over the tech position at my place, so I've had like 3 days off in the last 3 weeks. It seems like. And Red, he's chucking boxes in the back of a truck right now. He'll be joining us a bit later. Um, but you had some news to start off the actual stream,
Well,
without
I need, I
shitposting.
need, I need Red to be in here because
Ah,
this is something I completely decided on my own. It's not big news or anything. It's actually considerably small, but it's something that I want to do in actually a couple of weeks because we will be seeing each other soon.
oh,
So,
okay. So we'll save that for when Red joins us. I guess
so
I,
that
I guess I
kind of
can
weird.
enter with my bit here. So I sent you a message this morning after I got off work, and I'm not a Christmas guy. I'm more of a Halloween guy. I absolutely adore the spooky season, and this is the 25th anniversary of my personal favorite scary movie, Scream. So I went, like, one of my first in fall movies was going to see the 4K restoration because we have Fathom events here in America. I don't know if our broader audience has that where they live, but Fathom events is what also brings like your anime movies and your special events to the theater. And they were showing the 4K restoration up on the IMAX screen. So I this is not going to go to YouTube. This is a stream exclusive clip because I'm not dealing with copyright bullshit. So like we're going to open up my Discord here and pop this clip because this is one of my favorite scenes from the actual movie. So the entire premise of Scream is it's a deconstruction of the horror tropes, right? So and the reason I was bringing that up is recently certain games have been getting into trouble. Thurman, I don't know if you've been following my banter with Behavior Entertainment on Twitter.
No, I have been staying off of Twitter because it is the later half of the week, so that
Oh,
means
right, leaks.
spoilers are probably out there in the wild.
Yeah, I've already seen Black Clover leaks. I
Yeah.
opened Twitter as I was leaving work to respond to a DM, and I saw what's happening this week. I'm like, well, that's a thing that's going to happen. We'll definitely need to talk about that at some point. Uh,
That's why I have to remember I have to remember the scheduling
mhm,
of the leaks when they drop. Usually around Wednesdays and Thursdays. So
mhm.
once I remember, oh shit, like it's not as bad on Facebook, but I have friends who like to post leaks on Facebook, so I have to
That's
stay
how I
clear of
read
Facebook.
Dragon Ball Super this month. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not even fucking opening this
apparently,
app right now.
yeah,
I had
apparently,
Margarita's Bureau right on my first as I opened Facebook because
yeah.
I closed my Facebook dating account.
So
Uh,
apparently, Bardock is this Superman's dad light. Apparently,
yeah.
so.
Oh, we'll get to the Superman discourse in a minute too. it's been an interesting week, but like Entertainment got into hot water because they released a Hellraiser chapter because it's a 4v1 like asymmetric style. The killer chases the campers basically. But they
Uh-huh.
got into trouble with this chapter because they're dealing with NFTs. Basically, Hellraiser's been in this like legal loophole, kind of like Friday the 13th. That's why that whole game's like end of life content got canned because the estate and the studio have been fighting for fucking nearly 2 decades at this point for rights. It's kind of the same thing with Hellraiser. That's why there hasn't been a new Hellraiser movie in a while.
Yeah.
And this has been the first new content for that franchise. And then people were like, I'll buy it. I don't even have the game, but I'll buy it so I can support it. And, this gives me,
So is a
good feeling.
Hellraiser game?
No, it's just like DLC chapter. They've
Oh,
had.
for Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've done Stranger Things. That one's leaving the market because Netflix is doing their own game division now. So I ended
Oh
up.
boy, that's totally not gonna fail.
Remember Stadia?
See, Stadia, man, Stadia. Okay, look. Sorry, I don't mean to move you off of your topic,
Oh,
but
it's fine. It's fine.
let me just have this little thing for Stadia real quick, right? Stadia wouldn't be as bad if, like,
While
first
you're
of all,
talking, I'm going to grab something off my wall.
Game Pass for Xbox, the streaming is probably one of the best streamers out there. I know people are gonna say, "Well, NetBoom and other shit, blah 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 blah." But I honestly, streaming wise, I think Xbox Game Pass is superior in every way, right? I would consider Google Stadia more if it was more like Xbox's Game Pass streaming service, where like you can like, because my thing is like, why would I like, I legitimately feel like Google Stadia is more for people who don't already have consoles. You know what I mean? Like, if you have no consoles, like, why would I buy a $60 game on Stadia when I could just buy it on my PC or console, Switch, yada yada yada, right? Like, the reason why I like Xbox Game Pass so much is like a bunch of free games that I haven't played yet, a bunch of free games that good. These are quality games. Dragon Quest 11, new indie titles.
That's how I
Like,
play Katana Zero, man.
yeah, like,
I never even heard of the game. I'm like, oh, I love this aesthetic.
yeah, like Bethesda games, like
Mm-hmm.
fucking, like, I'm talking, like, these are like A1 games, right? Like Octopath Traveler, like shit like that, right? Like, and the interchangeable, they get new games, I think almost every month, right? It's free games, and then like you'll also be able to play the games that you buy already from your Xbox and shit like that, right? But with Stadia, there's barely any free games, and then you can like buy the games. Like, it doesn't, like, Google Stadia isn't as versatile as Game Pass is. Game Pass is very simple. You go.
And this stream is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, a new free-to-play mobile game with console-style graphics.
You go. You play the game, and that you'll be done with that, right? Because I have because you guys know that I got me a new phone, my Galaxy.
I hate that you got a new
right?
flagship phone before me, Thurman. I'm rocking a 2-year-old Note 10 right now.
Just you know, just
you got that Amazon money now, and I don't.
shoehorning my new phone, but anyways.
Have you tried an emulator on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Amazing.
Download the DS emulator. I want to know if it's as good as I'm hearing it runs on it. I'll send you a couple of ROMs that I have on my PC, thanks to Luke.
Okay, but yeah, so like, on my phone, right? I use I'm gonna be using my Game Pass more streaming service, because it's like I can just go in. It's like cloud gaming, personal games. I can literally hook up my Xbox, play a game on my Xbox. I have to go run to the store, like, I have to go to another friend's house or something like that, or go somewhere. I can literally take my my Game Seer game thing, controller. Take that with me. I can continue to finish the game that I was playing on my Xbox like 2 hours ago, right? Like, there's like a bunch of games on Game Pass. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot. Like, it's just a lot more to do with Game Pass streaming service, in my opinion, than I would say fucking Stadia. And I think Stadia would be more if it took the realms of Game Pass, like free games. All these free games.
Well, they do have free games. I'm going to weigh in on both that and chat here in a minute.
Like, their library of games is fucking horrendous. Like legitimately, like their library games are horrendous. Like it's literally just like a few like titles, and then but like everything else you have to pay for. But
Hmm.
like with Game Pass, you have a way more titles. Like and like it's interchangeable. They're always adding new ones. They're all it's more. It's just more. That's my opinion at least. So
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to go off tangent. You finish
Yeah.
your
Oh
finish.
no, 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 no. I love that you went off on a tangent because that gave us more time to vamp here before Red gets in. But uh, first things first. Yes, I have a beard right now. Like it's full. It's not going to be here for very long because of Comic Con, which is depressing because I love having a beard during the winter. Um, so to weigh in why I went and grabbed my Stadia controller. I'm going to be full disclosure here. Stadia, that Stadia controller and a Chromecast Ultra were sent to me by YouTube. Um, and right around the time they were doing the if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber or a content creator, they were just sending them out. So, full disclosure there. And I decided to try because I used to be a big fan of Destiny back in the day. Thurman, you remember when Chris and I, who used to do content on the channel, he and I used to run with Justin, another friend
Yeah.
of ours, and Destiny and Octavia and a bunch of our other friends from back in the Planet Unity days. We would do
Oh yeah, I
raids.
remember those days. Everyone just disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, Justin
Uh,
didn't disappear, but we kind
yeah.
of have there's an internal squabble between him and another good friend of ours. So
Yeah.
that.
It was a whole thing. But anyway, like, I decided to, because one of the free games that they were giving away with that was Beyond Light, the Destiny 2 free to play version that was bundled in there. And I was just basically going to see how it ran on there because it was already built on cloud technology. It was one of the three games that Microsoft was touting their cloud technology on. And this being a cloud based service, I wanted to see how cloud on cloud was functioning because my degree is in IT.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, from a technological perspective, this fascinates me. It ran like dog shit. I was like 5 frames a second. I have gigabit internet here. So I have I should have no issues running cloud gaming. I have none playing Game Pass games that are cloud
It didn't
powered.
take that much to run. Like even on my Google Pixel 5, like
Exactly.
it was very well. Like I don't think you really need that much like powerful hardware just to run it. To my knowledge, anyways.
There, server side, there needs to be some shit there, and Google is legitimately one of the biggest server farms on the fucking planet. So they have no excuse for that technology. And then about 5 months after they sent out all these kits to content creators and premium subscribers, if they had opted into it, they shuttered their games department. So now everything that will be going to Stadia platforms is going to be third party. So I look for Stadia to be dead technology in the next, year or so, because there is a site out there that is killed by Google, I believe it's called. Basically, just Google the Google Graveyard, and there's a website there that lists everything that they've either bought or shuttered. It's a whole fucking thing. They don't have a history of running things for very long. Um, so yeah, that's why I have a Google Stadia. Legitimately, it is one of the most comfortable controllers I've put my hands on, though. I will give them that. They made a great controller. Um, so I did for a while use that as like my PC controller for playing stuff like Hades
Yeah,
and
I never
shit
seen
like
their
that.
actual controller.
But yeah, it's really well built. It's USB-C as well, so I'm also the person that bought a fucking Ouya in 2020 to have one.
It's buying different controllers, seeing what sticks.
Well, I also collect a lot of obscure technology too, so I bought that and I am actually bidding on an OnLive console right now. I've turned into fucking Scott the Woz.
That's too funny. But I mean, at this point, I think streaming I know we talked about it before, but streaming as a service, um, me personally, I've come to grown to very fond of it.
Hmm.
it would have done well. I think Xbox is the best one on the market for it right now. If I'm being completely honest with you, it's
And
interesting
he's
because
not an Xbox ambassador, by the way.
like I'm not really into, I'm not fucking in middle school anymore. I'm not that weirdo anymore. I literally could care less the console wars. Yes, do I like competition in my company? Sure. Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Competition's a healthy
Competition is
competition, I should
healthy,
say.
you know.
Yeah,
The
healthy
depressing
competition, I
part
should say.
here, the depressing part here, Thurman, is there's not really going to be a whole lot of competition because we've reached an era where the hardware companies are buying up every studio.
Yeah.
Because Sony's bought out Blue Point, they've bought out a bunch of indie studios, and then Microsoft has bought like Bethesda, which also had bought id, which they bought out fucking Compulsion Games. They're like for second party for Gearbox, I believe now. It's gotten hard to find out exactly where that line is. So there's not really a whole lot of competition other than the companies themselves at this point,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, towards the end here, it's mostly just like it's mostly preference. I think when it comes to that specifically, I think that we have to sort of think about what we want, right? Like I know PSN, PS Now is technically a streaming service. It has like a lot of great games on it, even from like the PS2 and PS1. But my main issue is it doesn't have a mobile version. So I'm just like, there's no point in that, in my personal opinion, because a streaming service for me, right? Like I know, like depending on what it is, like Game Pass, I can do with both because I can just do whatever I want. I mostly use Game Pass to play games I couldn't play when they're out already, or games like Kingdom Hearts, for example. I know Kingdom Hearts isn't on there anymore, but I know like a lot of Final Fantasy games in there. I know they have deals with a lot of indie companies to get their games out there for free for people, like like shit like that, right? For PlayStation, I would love, but I think for me the most important thing, not the most important thing, but the magic about streaming is that you can take it on the go, right? I think that's the exciting part. Being able to play like buy like a cheap $50 controller from Amazon, get Game
Don't buy it
Pass.
for the next month and a half, though, please. Let Thurman have a good first peek.
Like, oh my god, we're just getting fucked up.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Jory don't know I'm playing Dota right now. It's rough game, but yeah, so like me, I have my game deck right here. I have my controller right here. I have my phone right here. Like it's literally just.
I carry a Razer Kishi in my backpack.
Yeah, it's literally for me. For me, it's literally just take my phone, take my shit on the go, and then just play it. Like, yeah, I can play streaming games at home. That's nice and dandy. But the funnest thing about it is being able to play it on the go, and the fact that PS Now can't do that, and there's other third-party streams that you can do that, but they're not the same quality, or it requires more tech stuff, or googling than like Stadia or Xbox and yada yada yada. I mean, I think till companies realize what the fuck they want, in that regard, I think it's gonna be interesting to see, because I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to bring up in this whole conversation here, because this is something that's been fascinating me for the last, like, 3 months, right? What I was opening this with is, like, the big thing for me is we've reached that point here, and Thurman, Red, now that you're here, I've never been a huge fan of the NFT shit, right? Like,
no one is. I don't believe anyone is, honestly.
But I do feel like now that you've seen a big game like Dead by Daylight dabble in it, that might be a more common thing that you see them testing.
No.
Thurman, you bought more used games like me back in the day. So, you
I,
remember? Do you remember the online pass shit that they tried?
yeah.
I, I, I really feel like that will be the test of this generation of gaming. Is instead of online passes, it will be NFTs.
Well,
That's actually really funny to think about.
they're always going to do anything they can
Mm-hmm.
to squeeze as much money out of you. You know what I mean? Like, they hate the used game market. It's actually why they're moving to digital is going to be great for them because then they get all the profits.
Yeah.
The same way like movie makers, the people that make movies, Hollywood hate movie theaters, and they would love for it to just be immediate to digital because they don't got to pay a theater anything.
Unless
I
you're
know,
Disney for some
a
reason.
lot of companies do not like that at all. That movie, that HBO Max shit, like going straight, like movie straight to thing. That's why a lot of shit is only on HBO Max for so long because the movie theaters know that.
Well, it's
People,
also Warner Brothers being one of the big three studios. I know I'm a fan of Dune. That was one of the first movies I bought when I got a job. Was David Lynch's iteration of Dune. I know it's a terrible fucking movie, but I have a soft spot for it because I grew up reading those books alongside The Hobbit and a little bit later down, Song of Ice and Fire. Uh, we won't talk about the final season of Game of Thrones. It doesn't exist. But no, like.
technically, it doesn't exist because it's non-canon, right?
Then Will George R. R. Martin ever finish the final book? But
So
anyway,
he's the Togashi of novels.
Hold on. On that same note, I didn't know there was a fucking prequel coming out for Game of Thrones. Like, what the
oh
fuck?
yeah, the Targaryen stuff.
Well, the only reason I care and even heard about it is because my boy Matt Smith is in there. Like,
Yep.
When I went to see Venom, he was in like 3 movie trailers in a row, and then I hear about this Game of Thrones thing that he's in, and like my guy, the Doctor Who money must have run dry or something because he was in nothing for years, and now he's in everything.
Yeah. Well, he also became really popular again. Like right
I mean,
around.
I love him. He's a great actor. I'm really
right
excited
around
to see him.
Genlock time. But
He was not in Genlock.
I
I think you're thinking of David Tennant.
I was making the Doctor Who is the same thing, same person joke. But no, like there's this weird renaissance of the Doctor Who actors though, because
Well, I mean, Doctor Who is like a career maker for sci-fi actors. Like if you fucking, not even just sci-fi really. Like if you become the Doctor, like you usually, not always, because David Tennant was kind of known beforehand, but like a lot of times they can get like fresh faces that have only ever done like Broadway, and like make them the Doctor, and then they become like famous. It's a star maker, that show.
The old Doctor, Peter Capaldi, is doing voice work for Audible now.
Oh, cool. He's got a good voice.
He, I believe it was one of R.A. Salvatore's books he was voicing in. A couple of the Doctors, the assistants, were in the Sandman Audible book, and then now you have David Tennant and Genlock and Matt Smith and fucking everything under the sun. Like that renaissance from that franchise is well known. Like it even did it for the actors back in the day. But fucking that's a interesting thing. But for Dune, the director of that despised the fact that it was going to be on a streaming service first. Because that was at the time where like they had no knowledge if theaters would be back open at the time.
Without even talking about the fucking Scarlett Johansson shit.
Right. But like
Well,
that's just on the HBO side of things, and then on the lawsuit side of things, like the fallout from that lawsuit, you see like timelines getting shuffled for releases. I sent an article in the group chat.
Honestly, that lawsuit like single-handedly like saved movie theaters. Honestly, because if that wasn't for that lawsuit, Disney would have just kept shunting it to Disney Plus.
I would have loved for them to do it.
They made a fuck ton of money with I don't remember what they did like exclusive to Disney Plus, but like it was, I don't know if it was Luca or some other movie, but like it was, they made just as much if not more money than they would have made. So they were like, fuck yeah.
Luca and Mulan were the two.
Oh yeah.
The two first ones. The
Luca was another thing, by the way,
It
where the
seems that
creators.
most Disney live actions always come with controversy in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, Luca was another one, by the way, where the creators of that movie were kind of pissed that it didn't see theaters. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it makes sense.
Like, honestly though, like we have to realize it's 2021, man. People need to realize that the movie theaters, they're like, don't get me wrong, I still love the movie theaters. There's just something magic about going in there, buying your popcorn, all that stuff. But let's be honest, your average person would, after a long day of work, would rather just go home and see that new Marvel movie at home.
Let me watch Midnight Mass on Netflix. God damn it!
I'll be honest. This is my a boomer moment coming out here. I don't think that that's a healthy thing to start. Like we you know how important it is as a society to have like social spaces where people go out and like interact with other people. Like if you don't have malls, libraries, movie theaters, skating rinks, arcades, all these things are disappearing.
There are still arcades that aren't Dave and Buster's.
My point, please, David. Thank you. If you don't have all these things, they are disappearing slowly. You see this with arcades and everything else. And malls are like, I think 50% plus of malls are expected to go out of business in the next 10 years. That is like, how you ever going to meet a friend, meet a lover, interact? You're gonna, that's just bad, right? Anyway, go ahead.
I have the perfect solution: dating/friend apps.
Yeah.
You're not wrong though. Like both of you have a great
those
point
are pretty
there.
bad. Jokes aside, though, that's pretty fucking bad. Especially since I'm gonna be honest with you, most people judge that. Not all, but most people judge off that based off of looks and how you present yourself in your photos. And so like it's hard to tell someone's personality from a fucking dating app, right? So like if you're not the best looker, I'm gonna be honest, you're probably not going to succeed very well on dating app, and that's not me being mean. That's just me being honest. Like,
yeah.
Because I'm not that attractive either. I'm like a 5. So like obviously.
Low key though, unless you're like, here's my hot take. Unless you're like fucking ugly, all it takes is a little bit of effort to make yourself like a passable like 6 or 7.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, because
it really is just effort, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, effort. You're right, effort, of course. But I'm talking about just from a dating app perspective, people are just going to because me personally, right? Like when I'm on a dating app, right, it's not necessarily like the looks. Yeah, obviously the looks do matter in some way, shape, or form. But I actually want to judge it based off of like your profile. Like, do you have like a funny joke? Like, do you like anime? Do you like video games? Like me personally, when I see when I look for even on Hinge, when I look for it, I need to see if our interests match, if you're gonna make a funny joke, tell me something about yourself. But a lot of these profiles are just I'm a dog mom and you have to be 6'5".
Well, to someone who likes dogs and milfs, I suppose that's a good profile.
So
it gets a little more.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, dating apps are not statistically not a good place to actually meet a lover.
I mean,
it's good if you want to fucking dump, basically.
Well, they can work, but statistically, the success rate is not great. It's all I'm saying, just really quickly finishing my point. All I'm saying is it's danger. I don't like the direction we're going as a society where we want everything to be able to be done from home or digitally, because I don't know about you, I love going to the mall with friends on the weekend, and the way shit's going now, malls are going to go out of business because of Amazon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, Red.
No, legit.
No, the malls will become Amazon fulfillment centers.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, we can only hope that Lord Jeff Bezos realizes that we need social spaces and opens up Amazon malls where you don't even need cashiers and you just pick shit up.
Already.
No.
I mean, they have the
that's where you work for free for Jeff Bezos, so he gets another tax cut, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, the further we go along, it'll be work for Jeff Bezos to get your food ration for the day, so you don't starve in the fucking climate apocalypse.
That he's helping escalate exponentially.
It's funny. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk could be our Batman and Iron Man, but they're just
fucking the Joker and goddamn Lex Luthor.
Yeah, Lex Luthor for sure.
Yeah, but going back to what I was saying, Red, I agree. For the movie theater thing, I agree with you. But even with the dating app stuff and all that extra stuff like that, it's not a good form of a really good form, in my opinion, of like.
I agree with that, and I disagree with that. Like,
You didn't even let him finish his
Yeah.
fucking sentence.
Because like, from what because like. Not even talking about like the pictures and profiles and whatnot. Like most people get bored of it and delete it, and so like most accounts on there are dead anyways. And the fact that like if you have to look a certain way. Not really have to look a certain way, but but like a lot of people. I think
Thurman, your incel is showing.
But how?
I'm trolling you. I'm doing the Patrick. Your genius is showing.
But like, because to me I think one of the issues with dating apps is like people don't know what they want on them. Like you'll have people who are on there just for fun.
They literally list like chatting, friendship, something casual, long-term.
And that's fine.
Like pick a fucking lane.
It's very confusing, you know what I mean? Like Tinder, like because like every dating app is known for something, right? Tinder is known for hookups, right? Like
Grindr is known
the Grindr, you just want to get your asshole drilled after poppers, okay? Come on now.
So it's just like for me, I think dating sites are just not necessarily misleading.
That line is how I got canceled.
It's hard to really know what your intentions are when you have like people just like, I'm not here for hookups, but other people, I am here for hookups, or I'm just here to talk, or I'm just here for friends. Like you don't really know, like, and this goes for all dating sites. So I think like for that, if you want like, because I know there are some apps for friendships, so which is really good. But it's just like if there was like more concrete apps to like this is just for this is for dating, no hookups, this is for hookups, this is for friendships. Like I think people don't really know what they want on them, and then not to mention like like you have to like look a certain way and all the extra stuff like that, and it's really like. All right.
May I cut in, Thurman, just because you're repeating yourself?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And I don't mean that in a rude way, but
no, I appreciate you doing that because I don't mean to do that, but you know.
Yeah, you like death spiral yourself until it's like you're waiting for someone to cut in.
Yes, I appreciate you.
For sure. So I do want to dispel, not necessarily for you, but for anyone that might be watching. I think there's this like, have you ever heard the term like the male gaze and the female gaze, and like you know what that means?
Yeah.
So like from talking to like a lot of women, like in honestly, like recently I've been talking to like women more than men, you know what I mean? Like that's just kind of the company I keep.
Women are great, bro. Great conversation starters, dude.
Yeah, and what I want to put out there is that like, not that like it doesn't matter at all, of course, but like women really, really focus less on like physical attractiveness than we do. Like I've noticed, because you see this, I'm sure you've seen plenty of relationships where the woman is fucking gorgeous and the guy's like average. You know what I mean? And like I've talked to, I've shown like Allie pictures of me when I was like 320 pounds, and she's just like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like so what? Like it's about for a lot of women, unless you're like just unfuckable. If you're like a 5 or up, and they like what they're looking for is like.
Personality.
At least for the most part, they're looking for a guy, it sounds so cliche, I don't even want to say it, but in my experiences, they're looking for like a guy who's like in touch with emotions, not like super gross and toxic, someone who's willing to like cry in front of them and really like open up and, be human and not be as gross. Because I don't know if you're aware, I'm sure you are, because you've told me about like the kind of friends that you've grown up around. A lot of men are very like hard to like talk deep with. They're very like shell, they kind of like keep themselves in this shell. Would you agree with that, Thurman?
Yeah, 100%.
And that shit's gross. Like those people are not fun to talk to. Like a good example is like any one of my coworkers. Like I wanted to just mess around about like the Little Nas X video. Like, oh, do you watch it? And like they'll be like, I ain't watching that gay shit. I was like, okay.
Now
can you imagine?
He's seducing the devil. How dare! He's working in a prison.
Imagine something less attractive than that. Like as a woman, if like the guy can't even fucking entertain watching a video because it might be a little gay. Like that's the kind of shit that they're looking to avoid. They really don't care as much as you think about like.
I mean, of course,
how fucking hot you are.
Like, now playing devil's advocate, there are those that
Well, yeah, because you grew up in California, and not to be rude, but a lot of people in California are vain as fuck.
Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. Bro,
what? California? The fucking Hollywood area? Vain?
That right there, Thurman, you're gonna find it's a lot different up here in the Midwest, because like that is not the norm. California is that area.
We have 3 pairs of jeans, and they're all the same shade up here. Okay.
Yeah, we don't really care. Like, I mean, God, look at my sister, dude. Like, my sister, back when she was, like, young, like, she was a drop dead motherfucker. Like, and then her husband, he'll never watch this, like a 4.
I agree.
I'm just
saying,
I've seen pictures of your sister, Red. I do agree there.
Yeah, I just want to put that out there, because I feel like even now, like, you've come a long way, Thurman, out of the incel vortex, but like occasionally you still say some shit like, "Well, I'm just not pretty enough." I'm like, "Fuck you, Thurman."
Oh no, I just need to work on my confidence. I think that's. I don't think that's an incel thing. I just think that's a.
Honestly, Thurman, every picture I see you, every time I see you,
you got that.
Look fine. Do you mind if I finish real quick?
Yeah.
You look fine. All you need to do really is like get yourself some fucking good outfits, like because t-shirts are great, but you want at least a couple like sexy, fancy suit type outfits. You know what I mean? Like some biz casual shit. Get yourself a fancy, nice haircut. You know, just like really fucking style yourself up and have like outfits like that for when you're going out meeting people, because that makes a good ass first impression.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's all. I really do think, because a lot of times when seeing pictures, it's like, you know, you look good. You're just wearing like a messy ass t-shirt or some shit. You know? But if you go,
it's not only that. Like, so I'm the one that turned Thurman onto Hinge when we had the when both of our messengers were fucking broken, right?
Fucking dead, dude. Dead.
Like whatever they did on the Android side of Facebook Messenger. Hey, everybody joining. I do see Chad. I'm trying to move this conversation.
Yeah, respond to them real quick. I don't want them to. Yeah.
But yes, Luke, you are 100% spot on. Like, and that's what Thurman meant by dead accounts. Usually, people will download, and I'm guilty of this too, because I used to go through periods of when I would re-download Tinder and then just delete it.
Hell yeah.
I'm really down bad. I want a quick fling. Let me download Tinder, and nobody's answering. Nah, fuck, I'll just delete it.
Well, David, now that you're like a femboy fucking stripper, dude. Like, I mean, I feel like
I sent Thurman my fucking Hinge profile. One of them's just me in the fishnets where I'm grabbing my ass.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, and really, because like, okay, think about this, Thurman. Like, when you watch like animals, like doing the mating dance to attract the female, right? Like, it's about the flashiness. It genuinely, like,
right.
Like, so David, he's not the most attractive guy. But
fuck
like
you.
He's no. I think you're like a 5 or 6, I think.
I'm a hard 7 when I'm at the right angle. Okay.
Well, that's what yeah, for sure, right? But so like, let's say David, you know, average, a little below average in attractiveness, but now that he's got all this wacky, crazy shit, the crazy, wacky floof hair and the colors and the like, now all of a sudden he's the peacock with the giant ass rainbow feathers, and like you're on Tinder, like, I want to fuck that. That's an interesting notch in my belt. Like,
let's see where this takes us. That's
you know what? That words it perfectly. That's what I'll say, Thurman. When I look at a picture of you here, Thurman. When I look at a picture of you, you look boring. You look average. That's what it is. You need to fucking spice it up. You need to do something that makes you look different.
I'll think about it, because my Hinge profile is just 2 photos of me and then a bunch of like memes and manga panels.
Nah, boo. No, yeah. And you wonder why you're not. Come on.
Right, but to be fair though, in that group message, I was like, "Hey, bro, I told you, I just wanted to see what it's about." So I'm just.
All right.
I don't really have any good photos though. I'm not really that.
We'll get some good photos while you're up here.
Wait. Can I tell you one really quick piece of advice? This is from an actual woman when I was asking about like dating websites and stuff. They want way more pictures, because they look for a lot of pictures to prove that you're not just like a creep and you actually have a social life. Mm-hmm. They want to see you with your friends, see you doing stuff to prove that you're not just a creep guy who's like.
I have photos with like me and Jessica in there, but I don't know if that's like.
Whoa, dude, you put wait. You put Jessica. She's one take.
No. You misunderstood, David. You misunderstood. You just stay out for a second. He's saying he didn't put those up. Anyway, what I'm saying though is they want pictures of you like in social situations. Like they don't have to be like staged and presented. It can be like you just casually hanging out with a group of friends or.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like the only ones I have, like I say, I have photos that I've taken with me and Jessica is chilling, and then like. I would say
put up one of those. If it starts getting, if there's like 4 of you with Jessa, then they might get.
There's
stuck.
like, this is his ex.
One
He's
with,
still attached.
You can have one with like her and you, one with you and another group of friends. You know what I mean? Like, find the one where here when you come over to the con. Now that we're all sexy, don't use the Uggy one from a couple years ago. And when you come over to the con, we get a bunch of pictures from the con. You can use those too.
No, I got up on the screen right now, like a snip of my Hinge profile there.
All of our fans go and date David on Hinge.
Please don't. No parasocial relationships, please.
You and Luke, dude. You and Luke would be a great couple.
I don't think the radius for Luke and I would be good. I've got it set to like 25 miles. I think it's a little farther to the UK.
They're opening up the borders now, right? For travel.
The borders? What the fuck?
I don't know.
They're opening up international travel, okay? Luke's not in an ice camp at the border.
This man was thinking he just...
I'm literally on like full cancel mode today.
I don't know what the fuck's going on, bro.
No, but like...
so like I have... Okay, I'm gonna use... What if I use this photo with... I'm just gonna use this photo with me and my niece. Fuck it.
Is this what this stream is? Setting up our Hinge profile?
Wait, bro, you were
Rag, get on Hinge. You're in a committed relationship. Just get on there.
Out of here. You get pussy on the daily, bro. Fuck out of here.
I don't know if I appreciate your comment. Daily would be a bit tough considering I see her weekly.
Oh my god.
I want to be a bro so badly, and I ask you a bunch of questions, but I want to be considerate, right?
All right.
Well, it's the sex poggers.
Wait. You get one question. What is the question?
Nah, bro, that's off the stream.
That's like.
I really have no idea. You know how much of a bro I want to be? I want to be like, bro, like just hype you up. I'm just like, no, let me be like, what's the word? Considerate and sensitive and not, pry too much.
Here's what I'll choose to tell you. Either. Oh God, you know what? You're right. I should say.
Yeah, like just hard pause, cycle back, leave that in the conversation.
It's not that hard to make a woman come. Okay, if you're having trouble with it, either there's something wrong with them or there's something wrong with you. Like this.
And there are.
Like I was
normal.
worried about that. I just want to put this confidence out there. I was so fucking worried that I would suck.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just a matter of like listening, like to their feedback. And see, that goes both ways, right? Because if the woman's sitting there all silent, like I need you to just psychically know where to rub, then fuck that.
Right.
But if she's telling you shit and you're not adjusting, then fuck you. It's a communication thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it though. If you communicate, it's fucking easy.
I'll weigh in on that. Like, that is perfectly normal for people to have trouble climaxing.
Yes. I have that problem actually with my ADHD. I'll get like 99% of the way there and then not be able to finish because I'm like thinking too hard. But I'm talking like where they're like, oh, I can't find the clit. It's not like a goddamn treasure chest in Zelda. It's
yeah.
I did want to touch on that, so there's one less clip to be taken out of context here.
Yeah. Like, so like for example, like I have a hard time. This is a little personal. Maybe I should.
I'll be like, when I was hardcore drinking, that was one of the hardest things for me. Like,
yeah, like all I'll say is like getting used to coming from like a hand other than my hand was hard at first because like you go. 15 years of like coming a certain way.
Oh,
and now some other person's doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least you have someone, like one thing I'm happy for you about. Allie seems like the type of person to be like accepting. Like if you come fast, she's not gonna be like, what?
Well, to be honest with you, Thurman,
I'm just extra wet today.
Just not coming at all because I'm like the ADHD situation where I'm just like I'll get all the way there and then I'll not finish. But that's on me. That's definitely not her problem.
So,
but at least you can satisfy her because you're not coming. But you're not satisfying.
Oh yeah, dude, 100%. It's actually like see all of my stresses and worries are.
It's stress.
Yeah.
Right.
No, listen. All of my stresses and worries.
Right?
Listen. all of my stresses and worries were completely like blown out the window. Like I was worried I'd come too fast, not an issue. I was worried I wouldn't be able to like finger her well, not an issue.
All that means is,
Is this TOS? Are we gonna get like?
No.
We should probably stop.
No.
All that means is that if you're mentally fucked up, that means you're the best.
Literally fucking Blue Chew ad reads on this shit, okay?
All right, what were you saying, Thurman?
And all that means is that if you're mentally fucked up, that means you're best at sex, bro.
They do say like those with mental disorders have better sex, but they don't.
Yeah,
also...
there's a thing with ADHD where like you know how we're like on the topic and then on to the next topic, like, bing, 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 bing.
Like the stream right now.
Yeah, so like for me, my issue is okay. We actually had this conversation, Thurman. You used to tell me, and stop me if this ever gets like, don't talk about this on stream. But you used to tell me that you had an issue like if you stopped like jerking off for like 2 seconds, you'd lose your erection, right?
Yeah.
That's the issue, right? So imagine another person doing it.
Welcome to the Control
you're loving it,
podcast,
and then
where we're talking about
gone,
sex.
right? Like that's just some. I'm still talking, David. That's just some ADHD shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, go ahead, David.
No, like, and this is me peeling back the curtain a bit for me. Like, when I was dating, when I was working in AMI, I was dating.
Don't use real names.
Dating that one person that you two both know. At least from a video standpoint, like I'd always joked about like I had a very high sex drive when I was younger.
And where did that all go? Now
you know what? Once you hit a certain age, that drive goes down, and that's very, very common knowledge.
And tragically, women's drives go up in that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the cruel joke of the universe, where we lose ours.
And then while I was dating this person, I noticed that our drives were, going the opposite directions. So I ended up trying one of those products that you see in ad reads.
Which product? Cock ring?
What? Cock what?
You don't know what a cock ring is?
Thurman, we're going to have a conversation off stream.
Thurman, do you not know what that is, really?
No.
Oh, it's okay. I'm not going to make fun of you.
No.
I really don't.
No, I don't know.
I have several
so it's like
that are
fucking,
unused if you want one.
It's like this fucking rubber silicone thing that like you get an erection and you put it around your dick and then it it makes your erection harder, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
David, explain it better than me.
You place it on, it keeps you harder longer.
Erectile dysfunction shit, right? Like it has something to do with medical.
No,
fucking Justin has one, dude. It's just like a sex toy that like makes
it really is just a fucking sex
toy. Come harder and it makes you hold your erection longer because it literally like holds the blood in your dick. Like it's like putting a rubber band around the base of your dick.
Yeah. And they are definitely not for everyone. That's why I said
You've probably seen that shit in hentai where they like fucking.
Oh, this whole intro to this stream is not going on fucking YouTube, Luke.
No, we're not putting. What was the topic of this video? How do we get
this is ADHD we're finding a way. David, we are finding a way to put this on YouTube. Like 3 people.
I will leave the edit of this shit to you next weekend.
We don't need to edit it. This shit won't go down. I've seen way worse.
You're right.
Listen, we're not monetizing. We're not monetizing, and it's set not for kids. We're fine.
No, but but what I was saying there is like I tried one of those products and that one was Blue Chew.
Yeah, how is that? Rooster Teeth is putting it in for that shit.
They did Hims for a while. They I actually heard.
Yeah, wasn't Jeff talking about that because he was having issues
Jeff
with
was having doing Hims.
Jeff was having dick issues. Yes.
Yeah, I realize, Luke, and that's why I'm trying to cut past a lot of this.
Wait, what did Luke say?
Well, I mean, we do have the entire spectrum of LGBT here, including asexual. So that's why I'm trying to.
We'll get there, bro.
That's why I'm brushing past the bit of this.
Also, some people don't like sex. There, you're included.
Yeah. But like.
Wait, what?
Apparently, people are upset that we're talking about sex.
No, I try that. Like, okay, it's basically like it's similar to Viagra, basically, right? So you can be like, okay, this will help you last longer, et cetera, et cetera. And it surprisingly worked. And it also helps regulate your drive. I'm like, okay, this is an interesting product. I'm not paying $300. I'm not have to have an awkward conversation with my doctor. About like, hey, I'm having trouble, lasting or keeping a drive up.
All right.
So yeah, that's something I I actually did try. And
I do agree that we should probably move on to talking about manga soon before everyone wants to.
But there is a.
Oh my God!
There's two other topics I really want to talk about here.
I'm sorry. We're not. This
we're not beholden to the chat. Goddammit.
This ain't TV reviews, bro. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna fucking talk about. If you don't like it, then just leave the stream.
Yeah.
Simple.
No,
I love the consistent shitting on Chibi reviews.
I'm not shitting on them, but I'm saying
I am.
From I can't believe we have to explain this shit from the channel's decision. We are talking
Origin.
It's not that deep. This channel isn't just for manga. Like we literally talk about tech. We talk about Samsung shit. Yeah. And you can say that. You can say through topic. We're all very sexual people. It doesn't matter. We literally, this is the conversation we're talking about.
Yeah, he clarified, like, it's not that he doesn't like it, he's just never been interested. Been curious about it, but never,
I'm not worried, just to clarify, I'm not worried about, like, insulting anyone. I'm more like, I just don't want to bore people, because we have been on it for a while.
But, like,
I'm in here because I enjoy talking to my boys. I enjoy talking to the fans and whatnot, and all stuff like that. So I'm not...
Fox brought up something that had happened while I was asleep. Actually, they had dropped the Uncharted movie trailer.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm not an Uncharted guy, so I have to listen to. I do know one famous scene though. That famous out of the airplane scene. That's very famous.
That's the big one that's in the fucking trailer.
Yeah. So that was the second game. I'm still in this state of being apprehensive of like movies that are based on video games, but we have kind of seen.
Fair, they have been getting better.
Yeah, they have been getting better. The Sonic
movie slapped.
Sonic movie slapped. The Mortal Kombat movie.
You like that? I didn't.
I like that one. What else?
We had two very different opinions on that movie.
But I mean, that's the glory of it. You know what I mean? You don't have to,
Yeah,
bro. I can't believe Thurman. I just realized you're gonna be up here in less than a month, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, by the way, now that you're here, I almost forgot.
Yeah.
It's time for my announcement.
He's gay.
Wait, he was just talking about a girl at work. Like, he'd be bi, right?
Yeah, but gay is an all-encompassing term. Anyway, go ahead.
So, the announcement is, ladies and gentlemen, sorry.
It's going to be stupid. It's going to be so stupid.
It will be, but my brother's loud in the background, that's why. But, I got distracted there for a second. But, so, as you guys know, I'm coming out there in a couple of weeks, right?
He said I'm coming
out. That was the first thing. At work, you know how we're doing the top 10 video, right?
Yes,
I've decided
I need to start reading again.
On stream, against Red and David's will, I am going to get them more into webtoons. So, I have decided to host a webtoon reading stream, right? And here's how the rules are going to play out.
Oh God.
So I know David reads a few, but I don't think he reads Adventures of God. So
that's the one I read.
How long are you gonna be here, Thurman? I want to make sure we have time for this.
I'm gonna be here the whole weekend. Friday.
Just the weekend, because like.
In fact, I actually might leave Wednesday.
Yes, stay a bit if you want to have fucking time to do shit like that.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna stay Sunday. I'm gonna stay till Monday, and I can leave probably Tuesday morning.
Because we're going to be busy as fuck the whole weekend with the con, you know what I mean? So I'm just warning. Remember last time we thought we'd have all this time to do shit, and then it was like all taken up with the con?
Yeah. So, right. So, I'll try to stay as long as I can. But
you can stay till maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, because I'm going to...
Do I have to clean the studio?
I applied... Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, so I'll have to get my. I'll have to make sure I have enough unpaid time. And
take a couple days off, because I have Friday, the surrounding Friday and Monday off. So
okay, so I have to make sure I have enough, because I'll have enough to get Sunday and Monday off. If I want to get Tuesday, I have to use my unpaid time. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, so one of the nights, I'm trying to think, one of the nights that I'll have to pop over, and like maybe like after the con on like Saturday or something, we can all go, or Sunday, or one of the nights when we can all go. Yeah, you know what? Sunday would work better for me. How about after the con ends on Sunday, we all go to David's, because I don't have to work the next day, and I assume that's same for you, David.
Yeah.
So we can all
should be.
So
just make sure to get that Sunday night Monday off, and then after the con Sunday, we'll all go to your place, do all the streaming and videos and all the shit we want to do.
Okay, so because Sundays are usually our traditional go to the art gallery day. So anyways, back to what I was saying. So this is how the rules are going to work for the Webtoon stream, right? We're going to have a whole day stream reading Webtoon.
He says the whole day, like we have time for that. I hope that you're planning on how we're going to have time for this.
Yes, I will.
Does somebody want to buy me a new laptop? I'll just stream it from the fucking con floor.
Hell no. You always say that like I want to waste my con time sitting on the floor. We're screaming. He's
talking about a whole ass day. How else are we going to fit this shit in, man?
It's going to have to be Sunday night, and then we stay up like hell late. That's the only thing I can think of. That's what I want to do.
At work, right? I thought about this shit. I have a whole plan out. So it's gonna be. It's called the Webtoon stream, right? So
what a name.
So we're going to come up with a name that won't get us instantly DMCA'd.
So what we're gonna do, right, is I have a bunch of Webtoons. Because I read this shit. I'm really big into Webtoons.
Literally, I think Thurman has like 3 bodies a la Loki, and he just fucking uses each one to do a different hobby.
So here's what we're gonna do, right? So I have a bunch of Webtoons that I would like you guys to read or get into, whatever, right?
I'm going to guess The Gamer, Unordinary, Tower of God.
Here's the rules. So I'm going to pick a Webtoon, and you and David are both going to read it, right? I know you guys both have different reading styles and whatnot. That's why we're going to go slow, right? So we're going to read until a certain chapter. We're not going to read all of it, obviously, because I'm pretty long, but we're going to read into a certain chapter. Depending on how long it is or how it just started, whatever, it will depending on what it is, right? And then after that, I'm going to get your guys' opinions on the Webtoon, and if you guys I'm talking about brutally honest opinion on it, and then if you guys would continue reading it without me or not. Okay? And you guys are going to rate the Webtoon. And we're going to get you in the Webtoons that way.
Okay, so
I already have a bunch of Webtoons that I have prepped up for you guys. So don't even worry about that. I have a bunch of ones that I think you guys would like, and of course I can always be wrong. And this might be something that I think you don't like, but you might end up not liking it, right? So this is gonna be really fun. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this all day at work. I was so hyped to tell you guys. I was like, bro, I have to.
I actually do like this idea.
So here's how we're gonna do this schedule-wise. Yeah, because I was thinking about it. Friday night I'll probably be hanging out with Allie. Saturday night I'll probably be hanging out with Andrew, Catherine, and then maybe Andy. So then Sunday I think is the day after the con. We all get together, drive to David's, and then we basically just have, because Sunday the con closes early, so we can just be to David's house by 5 or 6, get dinner, and then just stream for fucking 10 hours if we want to. And while we're streaming, we record videos for YouTube too, the top 10, of course, is going to go on YouTube.
That shit is not going to be a stream, because I'll probably be one that has to be edited.
I also, by the way, I was mentioning this to David too, or one of you two. I want to do 2 top 10s.
Oh, the character ones.
Right,
right.
I think you put that in the bro zone.
So be thinking about your top 10 characters as well, and don't.
That's gonna be.
I have a definitive top 3.
So
right now.
You have a month, so don't be like, oh, I didn't think.
We really don't have a month. We got more like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Semantics. But hear me out. Okay, I want this to be not one of those. You just say it and then okay, and then the next one. No, we're talking I want the reasoning. I want you to dive into why you love this character, why you relate to them, your emotional journey with them. I want capstone senior project level fucking speech on each character. Okay.
You say capstone and I have flashbacks to ITT and I want to kill myself.
Yeah. Well, get ready to kill yourself, baby. So
he's joking, by the way.
Am I? No, yeah, okay. But
orders 9mm Luger rounds.
You need to order more guns. You have plenty.
Breaking news. Fellow Michigan resident Red Alexander arrested for telling David Buchanan to kill himself.
Fun fact, Fun fact, that isn't even illegal. That's happened before where someone's like bullied someone to like kill themselves when they
do have a cyberbullying law in place, but I don't think it's ever been actively enforced in Michigan.
Yeah, but like that's such an awkward law because like what if it's just like general like school bullying, which is fucked up, but then they actually take action. Like, can you get that person in trouble? It's like,
Usually it's a slap on the wrist and a 3-day stay in a juvenile detention.
It's a gray area, but anyway. Just don't do it. How about that?
Right.
Anyway, so be thinking about it, guys. Like, I really sit down and think, and then when you get your top 10, I want you to really think. Like, okay, here's 1 and 2. Which one do I like better? Like, get it fucking accurate. Get your reasoning. I'm so ready.
So
I'm ready. Bro, I'm hyped for the webtoon. Yeah. I'm so happy.
I'm hyped for the top 10 character. I love getting into characters, man.
So, Red's number 1 is Killua because he's a cute femboy.
Well, we already know my number 1. Well, the exciting part is finding out my 2 through 10.
Hanako's got to be up there.
He'll be in there, yes.
But no, like, so
Hanako's taking over this man's life, bro.
Really? Like, there's phases and then there's phases. This motherfucker went on Amazon, bought a whole ass cosplay like last second.
Bought all the fucking, just everything that was available. By the way, that phase, you say 2 months ago, you were ready to find out how quickly time is moving. The Hanako phase started in June.
Right.
Yeah, so it was like a June
what's really fucking depressing?
Situation.
Like, what? I've only been actually working in person for 4 months. Like,
oh wow, dude.
Like,
reading through, like catching up with Hanako was one of the funnest fucking like manga binges, and that's why when Thurman, Red just doesn't like manga anymore. I know he's kidding, but like it's when I find some shit that I love, I binge it. Like Fire Force, bro. I'm about to be fucking caught up with that shit like within the week.
Yeah, Fire Force is goated.
Are you hyped, by the way, Thurman? I was waiting for. I tweeted at you on Twitter, obviously, and I was like, "Are you gonna let me back in the master race with the fucking antenna drawing?"
Master on Twitter, bro. It's league season right now.
Oh, that's fair.
But yeah, like the other.
I think I heard Mashal and JJK are on break this week. I think
there's a couple series on break.
Low tier series.
Ew, gross.
But like in the last week and a half, there's been 2 other big things that have happened in pop culture before we get to like the actual manga.
What could it be? I'm so
well, we had John Kent coming out as a bi character.
Oh yes, homophobes are upset because Superman's son likes dick.
I'm just over. I'm over the point. Like I've talked about this a bit on Twitter, and Thurman, you and I had our fun last night on a certain YouTuber's comment section.
I low key. I don't know if.
Well, they instantly deleted his editors or whoever monitors. Because I commented from the channel, and that comment was gone. Like in FTL.
It's funny that isn't their whole thing. Isn't their whole thing like fucking? Oh, we hate it when people like shut down alternative opinions and they fucking do that.
Right. That's why I was bringing attention to that. And then last I checked, my comment was still up on their video, but I also don't like giving them views.
Let's see. No, I got nothing, bro. My sister's collecting dust. That's unfortunate. Right. I was hoping to catch some bait, bro.
Right. I was over here like I just went for the jugular with my comment.
Maybe I need to maybe if I insult Trump, maybe that'll get
my comment was like, just say you only want cis white relationships and move on.
That's a good ass comment. I like that. I saw that. That's good shit.
You actually went in the road. Bias red. Not bias. Base red, right? That's how they say it.
Right. Red pilled red over there.
Base red.
Wait, what did I do?
Is that
you were based there. But like, no, like I'm at this point where like I do understand that a lot of the representation the LGBTQ community is getting is simply for the publisher to stay relevant. Like, they're doing it for sales. But when a character is still there, like, it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, there is definitely
there's a benefit to rainbow capitalism. Fuck them. I mean, at the end of the day, like, motives
it still helps.
Like, if it's the right thing, it's the right thing.
It still helps that little kid that's questioning their identity feel validated.
I mean, that's kind of like one of the few good things about capitalism is it's like you can vote with your dollar, right? Mm-hmm. And like clearly companies realize that like
It's like when
the minority
Raytheon
here is,
fucking
like, the
changed
crazy
their...
fucking conservatives that hate gay people, and like the direction of the world is going pro LGBT, so that's
Right.
where they're gonna go with their companies.
Right.
Yeah, and it's funny too because it's just like with that specific thing, right? Like it's like John Kent is technically a new character. So when you
He
say,
came out
"Oh,
of
Mark
Rebirth."
make a new
Oh
character,"
yeah,
he is a new
that
character.
proves how little they're looking into it too. I think they just assume it's Superman.
Well, he's being marketed
Yeah,
as Superman.
the biggest
That's the thing.
too. Everyone's like, "It's his son," and I'm just like, but my thing is though, honestly, I honestly like, who cares? Bro, like if he's gay, who cares? Honestly, I think I've taken the red approach on stuff like this, like when it comes to like whitewashing, blackwashing.
I knew you would remember
shit like that. My take on it is just, who cares, man? It doesn't, like, honestly, like, it's such a stupid thing to complain about. Yeah, like pandering and stuff like that's annoying, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, like, it does, like, it's not hurting me, so I don't really care that much anymore. Like, unless, like, the only time, like, I'll be like, okay, like, it needs to stop if it's like some sort of like, if it, not with like agenda, but it's just like a,
If it's their whole character,
Yeah.
if the
Yeah,
entire
yeah,
character
you know
is,
what I mean?
hi,
Like,
I'm gay.
but
I
I
mentioned that I'm gay.
Yeah.
I think one thing down this hill was the Crunchyroll like a High Guardian Spice thing. I think that was a little bit too far.
We
right?
did overreact to it because we were still in our yellow flash phase, I think.
Yeah. But I think the main issue was like the marketing for it was bad.
Yeah,
like
that part was so gross.
I think for that particularly, if they would have talked more about the show
and the merits of the show,
and then put like this is I'm trans and stuff like that, I think at that point people would have been divided on homophobes and people actually defending the actual like thing. But it was totally like agree. A lot of people and even women on YouTube who I looked at, they were just like, it's upsetting because you're doing it the wrong way, like saying the marketing stint you tried to do for it was, I know one said it was like damaging for women because you're making it seem like it's like the first time like women has run on a show and blah, blah, blah. I forgot what she said, but she had a point.
Was it shoe on head?
Huh?
Was it shoe on head?
I don't know. It's like, I don't fucking know. But basically,
shoe on head is one of the more famous like anti-SJW woman YouTubers.
She basically, her whole point was just like, oh, what you're doing is like damaging like women's credibility for like being a writer and whatnot and all the extra stuff like that.
And in a way, that's right.
And I'm just like, and my thing is, right, it was just like, you like the way you were marketing it was poor. Like we heard nothing about the show.
Yeah.
We heard more about you guys. Like me personally, like I like hearing about my authors, but I wanna do that after I like your show. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
For
good old time's sake, can we get a High Guardian?
High Guardian Spice.
So like for me, like Mao, right? Like I fell in love with Mao after the first 2 episodes, and after that, I scourged the internet.
And then you become a creep, and you want to know where the creator lives, so you can maybe see if you have a chance to meet them, and then you.
I'll be completely transparent. I did that with Paru during Beastars.
I did that with both David and I did that with the fucking Rooster Teeth animator that lives in Grand Rapids.
I remember that photo that you put up of the bear.
Oh yeah, did you track it down?
I drove by there in an area that looked like that area in a lift to go to a concert a few weeks ago.
Dude, there was a fucking TikTok. I keep seeing TikToks of people that are meeting Bo Burnham in real life, and I'm like, bro.
Wasn't it a fucking Staples he was at?
Yeah, no, there was a Staples, and then there was a Target. So just like yesterday, someone met him at a Target, and I wanted to be like, tell me the location of this Target. I will stand here until he gets his groceries again.
Yeah, so like
that is like literally out of white woman Instagram though. Like I'm at a fucking Target getting box wine.
Right, so from a point, no, you guys are having a good tangent. I didn't want to interrupt, but so so for me with something like that, right? I was just like, I really like Mao. I want to know who the author is. I want to get to know, see what's there. I found him on Twitter, so now I can follow him. And if he has any new works, if I know what season is,
and that's how I found out about the whole situation that we talked about a couple streams ago. It was because you were following him, and I'm like, oh, this is a good topic for a fucking stream. Yeah.
Yeah. So like even then, like I know I want to know who, like, even when I like Final Space, I want to know who the author was. So I can, like, for me, if I like your show, if I like your series, right, I want to follow you on social media so I can support you and anything you do, and I know what's coming next, right?
Right.
And so like I didn't have any. I don't really have an issue with like the Hard Guardian Spice like writers or anything like that. Like, not at all.
It was
It's
just the marketing style.
The marketing style, the way you were going for it wasn't.
Well, yeah, the writers probably, from their perspective, they were just offered like, "Hey, you want to make a show? Here you go." And then it was probably more on Crunchyroll's end that was like, "We can market this as an SJW thing."
Like, and that thing I don't agree. I still by this day stand by that. Like, I agree. I think we're a little bit too harsh on it, but at the same time, it's just like you could market that show better, especially since like you're like, we're full diversity, all women.
But like the thing is, it's come out that it's not just women working on it. That's the thing. Like, you marketed it as specifically women.
They probably changed it. They probably changed that after.
Once they saw the backlash, like, we aren't really being inclusive for inclusivity's rights, because we're turning out an entire other subsect of
it's like they wanted brownie points for it, and I'm like, that's not really brownie points for it. Just let like, doesn't matter what gender, race you are, just like, if you want to write a show, go ahead, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one cares if you're like, if you like sucking dick, you like looking pussy, if you're male, female, trans, bro. I have more power to you.
Yep.
I just want to know about your show. I want to know if your show is good or not. If I'm gonna like your show, honestly, from what I've been seeing, I have to give it a chance. The art style does not sit well with me.
It looks like,
real quick, guys. I want to go take a shower real quick, and I'm still not caught up with Dr. Stone. So if you guys want to review that while I'm in the shower, and then when
that was the plan here. Is we're going to
so you guys go do Dr. Stone, and then when I get back, actually just message me when you need me to pop in, and then because I want to talk about One Piece too. Okay. So when you guys are done with that, let me know.
Like, the other thing I really wanted to talk about before we do that is Frieza's voice actor has passed away, sadly.
Oh yes. Oh my God, I can't. Man, that's a slight touchy subject. So fair warning to everybody, slightly touchy subject coming in. So, as you guys know or may not know, Chris Ayers, the English voice actor, let's specify that, has passed away. I don't know what he passed away of. I think they say he passed away peacefully. I think he was like 64, I believe.
Let me pull up, because I actually have it still in our Discord. Really quick, the article. I forget who posted it in the Discord itself.
Luke did.
Yeah, Luke did. So he was 56, and he had been struggling with COPD, and that itself is actually a terrifying thing, especially right now in the current state of the world, because that's one of the conditions that can be escalated via COVID and a lot of other things. So I think that's why they specified immediately how he passed away. It was from complications of that and all that. So it wasn't just open speculation like, it had to be COVID because, doing conventions and yada, yada, yada. Where cons are still relatively in that safe state where, like, masks are recommended, vaccinations are being required in some states. But yeah, like, he's been struggling with it for a while. I remember that it was like 2 or 3 months ago, like, he was taking a hiatus from doing things and was going in for another operation. I was reading, and one of the anime tabloid pages, which, it could be true or could not be true, who knows, but I do know he had been struggling for a while. So this is another one of those unfortunate circumstances where if Frieza returns to Dragon Ball in the future, it's going to be recast.
It's unfortunate too because Frieza, the way Dragon Ball Super is going, Frieza is going to be more and more important. I think she's in the new. He's in the new movie too. So it sucks. Yeah. I hope he was able to record that before his passing. It'd be a final, a little final.
Like Muriel's voice actress recently.
Yeah. Because her last work was the Scooby-Doo crossover. So hopefully he was at least was able to, do one final work before his passing. But I don't really know who they're gonna replace him with because I mean, Frieza's not going away anytime soon.
No, he's the most marketable villain.
So and that's including like like future video games, future movies, Shonen Jump crossovers. It really just it's unfortunate. I feel for his family. I wish them all the best because losing someone is very, very hard.
Especially right now, like losing someone in this state is very unfortunate. And especially right now at the peak of the marketing push for Dragon Ball's new movie as well. That's one of those like, this is a huge blow to that cast, and that cast is essentially a family.
Yeah, they really is. They love each other a lot.
So seeing his girlfriend posting that up on Twitter and it making the rounds, I do wish them all the best, and hopefully there's some time to heal before Shonen Jump decides to milk the franchise more.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I don't really know who they. I don't think we're gonna find any. It depends because the new movie is coming out. And I know it's gonna have a dub, so it's unfortunate. I hope he was in the new movie before. Well, I don't think it. Honestly, I don't think it's done yet. To be honest, but
I would assume like the voicing is done, and it's just.
I hope so because if not, I don't know. I don't even know who would willingly wanted to take that role because that's a big.
It's a whole different situation than like I'm going to unsully this character.
Yeah, it's very different than like Chadwick Boseman's situation to where like Marvel or technically Disney has to decide if they're going to replace the actor or just make him died in canon and have a new mantle. So I know a lot of people have been arguing about that on Twitter, on Facebook, what they're going to do. But
in the lore of Black Panther, it's a mantle. Like just like I've had this conversation with a lot of people about Bond. Like, the title of 007 is a moniker. You can give it to anyone. Like, they did in the fucking movie, in the new movie. Spoilers. So, like, they passed on 007 to Lupita's character in that movie while he was grounded. It was like, and then had stepped away from the role of being a 00 agent. So they had passed on the role of 007 to her, and then in the movie, like, she gave it back, and then, spoilers, things happen at the end, and now that is up in the air, like, who will take on the role of 007 again. But I do agree with, like, there should never be another James Bond. Because James Bond, in the books, and in the comics, and in the lore of the series, has always been a white male. But the role of 007 could be fucking anybody. They've given the role of 00 agent 1 through fucking 9 to hundreds of people throughout the canon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I didn't know there was a whole I knew it was a franchise, but I didn't know there was like comics and shit with
I grew up with Bond. So that was one of the 3 movies recently that actually made me fucking cry in the theater. Is seeing
That's good.
That
how was the movie? Did you like it?
It was phenomenal.
It was in of an arc or the end of this.
It's spoilers for No Time to Die in 3, 2, 1. I'll raise my hand when they're gone. And so at the end of the movie, James Bond dies.
Okay.
So that character is gone. So now that
was it like a what kind of like is it like Boys in the Hood kind of dead, or is it like Logan?
It was him having his swan song basically, because he's aging in the movie. He's also he had found love with a character previously, and in the plot of the movie.
So his character, he basically did everything he was supposed to do, and he died.
He did everything he was supposed to do, and because of the circumstances of the movie itself, and getting injected with the fucking toxin that was going around, like, if he were to make love again, and him being a chauvinistic asshole, he'd be passing on that toxin to them and killing them. So he's just
I
like,
see.
well, fuck it. Let me go down. And spoilers over. Anyway, to weigh into Luke, Shuri being the new Black, or at least the current actress for Shuri, would be a touchy subject right now because of her views.
What her view? Oh shit! What does she do?
She's firmly anti-vax. So yeah, I don't think they'll be keeping Shuri's actor for very long after the marketing push for Black Panther 2 is over.
Oh yeah, it's anything like Gina Carano situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now they could just recast Shuri very easily. She's not exactly the most famous character, and she's not as recognizable as somebody like Chadwick Boseman. But like,
Even before Black Panther, he was a really well-known actor.
Mm-hmm. But
So,
yeah, the reason I brought up like Chris Ayers and like it's different circumstances to recast somebody to fill shoes versus to unsully a role is like it's a very different situation of like recasting somebody like Broly to recasting somebody like Frieza and the circumstances surrounding the two characters. But yeah, so those are the two big pop culture things that happened. Is there anything else that we missed before we get to Dr. Stone?
chapters. Is there anything I want to talk about? Not really. No, there was nothing to besides the webtoon thing and.
I know I have that 100 anime thing we can go through and decide like the rules to that in that stream as well, and just kind of like see what we already have all watched, what we need to like what some of us have watched, and go through that and see if we want to actually make a long series out of it or an occasional series out of it. What we want to do with that. And then I know I still owe the chat a punishment stream for Red in Kingdom Hearts.
Hot sauce. That's your guys' favorite fucking thing to use is hot sauce.
Oh god, no! Fuck hot sauce. I'm older now. I can't deal with that anymore.
Yeah, niggas used to love using that hot sauce as a punishment game back in the day on the podcast. That shit was funny.
God. But no, like the joke was he was going to have to play through all of Kingdom Hearts, so we could start putting him through Kingdom Hearts 1 on PC at some point in that time frame as well. So yeah, that's the touch basis and catch back up. So I guess we can get to Dr. Stone now, and
we haven't did Dr. Stone in forever, bruh.
Let me find out what the fuck this Nintendo is labeled as here, because I still have the it's gotta be Image. There we go.
Image Comics. Oh,
right.
For the comics fans, Saga is back, boys. It's happening after how many years? I don't know. But Saga has returned, and I cannot be more hyped, bro.
So I actually went through, because you were reading Saga when we hosted the Old School podcast.
Yeah, I was reading Saga way back. A long time ago. I binged that shit.
Right.
I've been a Saga fan for years now.
So I had just went through like my Facebook Messenger and deleted a bunch of old chats because I'm like there is no relevancy to keeping this chat open. I don't talk to this person anymore, or I have no desire to talk to this person anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually about to go through my Facebook and just start deleting people. If I don't talk to you in like the past like year, then you're probably, or if I don't like interact with your posts like that much, I'm probably just gonna delete your shit, delete off my Facebook. And no hard feelings to those people, but I just can't.
I remember when you and I met, I had like 1,000, 1,500 somewhere in there friends on my fucking Facebook because of how we ran Planet Unity. And then I just started purging people, like, left and right. Like, I made it, like, a quarterly thing. Like, if I didn't get any interaction back and forth or I didn't talk to those people, I would just delete them. But then I looked through, like, my because I used to archive all my chats and just archive them. Like, if I talk to this person again for whatever reason, I'd keep it in, like, the archive tab in Messenger. But, I just started fucking deleting all those old chat logs because I'm like, I haven't talked to this person since, like, 2015. I don't need this DM. But in doing that, I found one of our old burner chats. And there was an article you had sent about when they went on hiatus. And it was when we were doing the old podcast. Like, it was like podcast 5 burner chat.
Podcast 5 burning chat, that's funny.
And I'm like, holy fuck, it's been 4 years that they've been on hiatus. And more power to Image for how they actually do things. But, yeah, that was an interesting discovery. And then I went through and I'm, like, deleting my ex's DMs and all this shit. But anyway, like, Dr. fucking Stone is in an interesting place right now.
Fuck Dr. Stone. I want to talk more about Image, bro. I fucking love Image, dude. Bro, I love Image Comics, man. Some of the shit I've read from them is just so good.
Yeah.
It's just so damn good, dude. It's so good. So good. Like Image, like I'm currently reading Black Science. I like that so far.
Dude.
Like,
But,
bro,
yeah.
If you're tired of Marvel and DC,
go read Image. Read
Image,
Saga.
bro.
You can find the omnibus for $50.
Yeah, Saga's good.
Invincible
is good. Black Science is good. Monstrous is good.
The downside to Image Comics is they're
not
marketing stunts. They respect their authors, and that allows them to go on more hiatuses. And some of them have been on hiatus for, like we were saying, like 4 years. By the time it comes back, it'll be 5.
It's fucking, listen, right? Image, it's great, but they don't market as well as Marvel and DC. That's how I feel like even Dark Horse markets better than them. Like, literally, right? Marvel and DC, right? You know who the fuck owns Superman, Batman, Wonder Man. You know who the fuck owns Thor, Spider-Man, Captain America. Do you even know who the fuck owns Spawn? Todd McFarlane knows how to market his series, but like,
right,
literally,
but here's the thing, like, with Spawn, it's a Todd McFarlane property. It's not even solely owned by Image. That's how Image functions, is like the rights are retained by the author, right? Authors can't fucking market.
Because I know Todd McFarlane, he came from Marvel. From Marvel. He actually owns part of Image, doesn't he?
He is a shareholder, I believe. Correct me in the VOD of whatever this becomes.
I think he's not an owner, but he's like a co-owner. He owns some part of.
I believe he's a shareholder.
Yeah. So like.
Kind of like Scott Wozniak still owns a share in Apple, or did until recently still own a share in Apple.
Yeah. So my thing is, right, I wish they would market it more, because you don't know who the fuck owns Invincible. You don't know who the fuck.
Well, that one's a little more obvious because it's a Robert Kirkman property on the covers. And then you know Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead, because The Walking Dead, thanks to AMC and their horrendous adaptation of the show or the comic, has marketed the fuck out of it.
Yeah, because Robert Kirkman owns Invincible, fucking Haunt, I believe. Well, he does the art for it, and like he does fucking because The Walking Dead is probably the most famous thing he's known for. Because I haven't read that shit, but I know it's actually.
I did.
Invincible, all that shit. So like, you don't know who owns like Bone. You don't know who the fucking owns like fucking like, like Monstrous, Rat Queens, blah blah blah. So
I was going to say Rat Queen because that's another popular Image one. I don't read as many.
Oh my god, that show, that fucking comic is great. Where is my Rat Queens show, bro? Game something, bro. Give me a Image Comics video game with all the Image characters in it. Like, you know who fucking Savage.
Do you realize how broken that game would be just on how different their fucking characters are? You got Spawn, who's a fucking omnipotent god character, and then you got Mark Grayson over here, and then you got fucking over there Rick Grimes.
Bro, that'd be fun as fuck to
I'm
play.
just a cold iron on his hip.
Bro.
Oh, god damn. But anyway, like, that's a very good thing to discuss at some point. Is like the success in marketing for some of these franchises, because even from a manga standpoint, you see varying degrees of marketing. From
Yeah, Nasha fucking sucks at marketing in America.
right, like I did not know that I Am Hero was getting omnibuses, like 3-in-1s. I had no fucking idea.
That's why that's one of the main reasons why I like Twitter so much is that Twitter keeps you in a loop of shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I
Twitter
found out
may be a
because
giant cesspool of garbage, but at least there's
social
some
media in general is that. That's why I'm on it less and less unless I'm shit posting.
Yep, I agree.
But I fucking live on Instagram at this point because it's at least filterable. For how much longer, who knows? But the big thing for me was like I was searching because I've been reading Sandman, which was one of my childhood favorite comics. But the second omnibus is out of print, so I was searching. Like I remembered I had taken a photo of a booth at Comic Con because they do like delivery. I'm like, well, I may buy some shit from them down the road, and they didn't have business cards; they were out of business cards. So I just took a picture of their signage above their booth, right? So I scrolled through my fucking camera roll, and because I take so many goddamn pictures, I had to go down like 200 fucking photos. But anyway, I found their website on there. I looked through there, and that's where I found that they were doing they just released like I Am Hero volumes 8 and 9 3-in-1s. I'm like, well, fuck. I didn't know that 7 through 1 were a thing.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part too, that the marketing can make or break your shit.
Right. And I'm like, well, now I need to scoop up all these after Comic-Con because that's one series that's been heavily recommended in our comments, and it's very hard to find scans of that series that are readable. And they don't exist on any like digital platform like Azuki or the Shonen Jump app or anything like that, or Anchor. Because I tried to support those before I go to a scanlation site for purposes of, supporting the authors. But they don't exist on any of those. Even with To Your Eternity, like there in Azuki, there's still a giant chunk of chapters missing of that. So when I got done binging the anime, I just went and fucking read them on a scan site because chapters 5 to 130 weren't on Azuki. But anyway, like that's the make or break for a lot of franchises. If it's not marketed properly and it's not successful, like it just disappears into the fucking ether.
That's unfortunate too, because Image is one of the main reasons why I still like and really I like Marvel and DC for sure. Like I like their comics a lot, but it's just like
the two big ones I read are I still read everything Spider-Man. I still read everything Batman. Like those are my two like go-tos for Marvel and DC. I do read a lot of Deadpool, but Deadpool gets to the point where like I love not having the fourth wall, but it also gets to the point where like, okay, I need some semblance of disbelief, So there are some storylines in Deadpool I'm like, I have zero interest in continuing this one. But I love Deadpool as well as a character. But I got back into comics because of Boom and the Power Ranger comics. And then they started doing their own thing. Berserker is a new one. It's a comic that is written by Keanu Reeves. And it's this futuristic, dystopian gore fest. And I do highly recommend.
I actually want to read Crossover too. That's one by Donny Cates.
I did not know that was a thing. I'll have to check into that one.
Yeah, that's been out for a while. It's by, you guessed it, Image.
That's why I haven't heard of it.
How would you know that?
The big reason that you talking about Saga and then seeing pop vinyls of them is what got me interested in that series. I'm like, well, it's big enough to have a Funko Pop, and I know the joke is like everything eventually gets a Funko Pop, but there is like rules to how those come out. That's why a lot of series you don't see them for, and why you'll probably never see some of them. And then there are some franchises where like you see 7,000 lines of them. looking at you, Naruto, and My Hero Academia, and fucking
Demon Slayer.
I saw I want to because I'm still in like Funko Pop buy and trade groups, even though I don't really buy them as often. I saw that Inosuke has a fucking Funko Pop, and I wanted to kill myself. Because there's not one, not two, but 5 different versions of fucking Inosuke.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I'm like, this character does not need that many Funkos. I'm sorry. But anyway, let's talk Dr. Stone so we can get Red back in here after a shower for One Piece so I can get ready to go to work.
That's a long shower, by the way.
Yeah. But